Identity theft. It's something that you are worried about as an adult, but your children's identity is also at risk, and that's according to strategy and research. One in out of every 50 children fall victim to identity fraud. So with us to talk about children's identity theft, adult identity theft, is James Lee. He is the COO for the Identity Theft Resource Center. You can ask your question to our expert today. You can text him to the number on your screen, 336-379-5775. All right, so James, let's first and foremost kind of get this out of the way. We all know as adults about identity theft, but why in the world would I need to freeze my children's credit? A lot of people are out there asking that question right now.
It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Because you're thinking about, well, why do you need to freeze your credit if you have a child? They're not applying for credit cards. They don't need to show identification generally for things. So why would that be an issue? But the reality is, credit is tied largely to your social security number, and we issue social security numbers to children at birth now. So that number is very valuable. Your social security number, my social security numbers, the vast majority of adults in this country, their social security number is already out there in the wild. It's in identity marketplaces. But your kid's social security number is very valuable. Ours is not. Theirs very valuable. So we routinely see where teenagers are getting ready to go to college. Maybe they're applying for their first job. And they're making some application where they have to show that social security number, and you find out, wait a minute, they have 15 years of work history. They have credit. They have other things that you require a social security number to get that benefit, and now they're stuck. Their financial aid applications for college, their college entrance applications, well, those get frozen until you clear up that identity issue. Same thing with the Social Security, because if you've got 15 years of work history and you're only 16 years old, that's going to be a problem down the road. So freezing your child's credit is how you avoid those kinds of issues. With somebody misusing your child's Social Security number and you're not learning about it for a decade or more. So the way you do that is a little bit different than freezing your own credit.
All right, so let's talk about that, because there's a bunch of parents out there who are going, okay, I know how to freeze my own credit. How do I freeze my child's credit? What kinds of things do I need to do? You still have to go to the 3 credit bureaus.
That's correct. So, freezing your credit's easy. You can do that online today. It's an automated process with the 3 credit bureaus. It doesn't cost you anything. It has no impact on your credit score. And you can, when you need to use your credit, you can thaw it by basically doing the same thing, going back online, log into an account, which you do not have to pay for, and thaw your credit, and then you can refreeze it. And you can actually automate that refreeze process as well. But with your child's identity, with your child's social security number and credit scores, it's a little bit different, mainly because hopefully they don't actually have a credit report. So by freezing it, you're actually creating a credit report for them. So that means you have to contact each individual credit bureau separately, and each bureau has a different process for freezing your child's credit. So it does require a little bit more legwork. You have to prove that you're their parent. You have to prove that that's their social security number. But that's not a difficult thing to do. But it does require a lot more manual kind of work. You have to talk to the credit bureau. You have to send in information. So it's not necessarily quick, not necessarily as easy as freezing your credit, but it has a tremendous beneficial impact on keeping your child's identity safe.
Okay. All right. So, and that is something that every parent, I mean, I'm saying that you're going to want every single parent to do that, like from the get-go.
Yes, it's very important that they do that, just because we know that identity criminals make a lot of money off of children's social security numbers and creating credit profiles for them. So
Okay.
it really is important that people do that.
All right, let's talk about protecting our physical documents and protecting our devices, because we all have the documents and we all have the devices that have all kinds of passwords and things on them.
It is very important that you do that, especially now. Your device is the equivalent of what we used to have. If you're a guy, that was your wallet, but you had everything in your wallet, and you probably had back problems from sitting on it because it was so thick because of all the information you had in it. You had a bigger purse if you were a woman because of all the things that you carried in there. And I'm not about to go down that path talking about what's in people's purses, but today, a lot of that's on our phones. It's on a device, and we have to treat that information just like we used to treat when we carried a checkbook or we carried a wallet with a lot of information in it. So let's start with, what don't you want to carry around with you? You don't want to carry your checkbook. You don't want to carry your social security number, your social security card if you still have one. You don't want to carry your passport. But unless you're headed to the airport or for some reason you're going to need to prove your identity. You don't want to have your Medicaid or Medicare card or some other benefit card that's issued unless you need to use that at that moment. So those very foundational documents, don't carry them with you. Lock them up somewhere safe back at your house. If you need to use them at some point, pull them out of a safe place and then put them right back when you're finished. It's a good idea, though, to have a copy of those documents on your phone if you have a smartphone. There's any number of apps that you can download from Google Play or from the Apple App Store where you can take a picture of that. You can secure that document under a password on your phone. So you've also got a second set of those documents if you ever need to prove that you had them in the first place if something happens with wherever you've stored them safely.
Okay,
So
and
store
so
those documents safely.
with that, we want to make sure we have like two-factor authentication on all our devices, right? Because we don't want anybody to be able to just open up our phone or our iPad and be able to see it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be talking a little bit more about documents, devices, and also what to do if you become an identity theft victim. And we're taking your questions, 336-379-5775 when we come back.